Ray Brown's Talking Birds.
Made possible by the generous support of the Birdwatchers General Store, Orleans, Cape Cod. Birdwatchersgeneralstore.com.
By Vortex Optics with the VIP warranty. Their unlimited lifetime promise to keep you and your optics covered. Learn more at vortexoptics.com.
By Broome, where bird feeding meets innovation. Discover truly squirrel-proof bird feeders, all backed by lifetime care commitment. Broome.com.
And by Hog Island Audubon Camp. For full camp schedule, program details, and to register, visit audubon.org/Hog Island.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome to our show number 1088. Little Talking Birds garden update. We have some house wren activity, it looks like, around our nest boxes out there. Keeping an eye on that. And we have our new mealworm station awaiting hungry bluebirds. Well, May is Plirding month here at Talking Birds. The term plirding, if you haven't heard about it, is a mashup of the words picking up litter while birding. We like to do it, and we like to encourage other folks to do it as well. Our Freya McGregor reached out to our proud plurders, and we've been hearing from them with what we're calling Plirding audio postcards. And we have one here from Kimberly out there, not too far, I think, from San Francisco in California.
Good morning, Ray and Freya. I'm responding to your call for information about Plirding. My name is Kimberly Mutu. I am in Woodside, California right now on the Spring Creek Trail, listening to the Pacific Wren. And as I go, I always keep a backpack with me. And whenever I find any trash, I pick up trash while birding. This is really important at this time of year when all of the small birds are making their nests, and if they find some glittery bit of trash, they might incorporate it into their nest, which would be very dangerous for the baby chicks as they hatch. Have a wonderful day. Bye.
Bye-bye, Kimberly, and thank you so much for that. And thank you for mentioning about nests as well, because our special guest this morning will be talking about that very topic. Well, as it happens, we have two new proud plurders to welcome today. First, Carol from Hebron, Ohio. Thank you, Carol. And a proud plurder iron-on patch is on its way to you. And Sue Wetmore from Brandon, Vermont. Sue says, whether I'm birding alone or with friends, we always pick up discarded fishing line. The thoughtless action of a fisher person can lead to a disastrous entrapment of birds. Fact check. Certainly true. Thank you, Sue, for becoming an official proud plurder. To learn more about plurding and to have the option of becoming a proud plurder, essentially pledging to pick up litter and trash while you're birding, just click on that all-purpose Get Involved tab at talkingbirds.com, then scroll down a bit to where it says Go Plirding. Conservation Great News of the Week. On Earth Day, April 22nd, the House of Representatives abruptly canceled a proposed bill that would have weakened the Endangered Species Act. In apparent response to Republican opposition to the bill, Speaker Mike Johnson removed the ESA Amendments Act from consideration. It's been reported that opposition from 6 Florida Republicans and some other GOP members impacted the decision. The legislation had been a Republican priority to prevent species protections from blocking development of energy and other projects. So the bill would have given greater weight to the economic impacts of listing animals and plants as endangered and would have limited environmental group legal challenges. But at least for now, the bill is dead and the Endangered Species Act is alive and well. Well, speaking of alive and well, this bird is alive, but I'm not sure we can say well. It's our mystery bird. We'll talk more about that. But this is a preview of the mystery bird contest. It's a primarily nocturnal raptor of the American West with 3 recognized subspecies. It's a bit larger than an American crow. Its plumage is mostly dark brown with white blotches, most prominently on the chest and belly. Its eyes are brown. Our bird hunts from perches detecting prey by sight and sound, swooping down to capture small and medium-sized mammals, especially rodents. And this bird has been fighting for its survival after habitat loss and fragmentation and the range expansion of a larger and more aggressive related eastern species. We have fabulous prizes, as usual, on our Mystery Bird contest, and we'll be describing those in just a little bit. I'll even give the phone number now so you'll be ready for it. You ready? It's 781-837-4900. We'll be announcing the actual contest in a little bit. 781-837-4900. We're saluting another Talking Birds ambassador. That means Talking Birds listeners who have stepped up to help us promote the program and the idea of birding and conservation. Thank you to Ryan Rummel from West Long Branch, New Jersey. And Ryan says, I always seem to see a pileated woodpecker when I'm going through a life event. Perhaps it's a spirit animal. Interesting thought, Ryan. Thanks for sharing it, and thanks for becoming a Talking Birds ambassador. We want to grow the ambassadors family now, more than 1,000 members. And if you'd like to join the family and help us spread the word, just go to talkingbirds.com, and it's that Get Involved tab again. Look for Become an Ambassador. Still to come today, we'll learn about a great new online course from the Cornell Labs Bird Academy entitled The Hidden World of Nests and Eggs, when we talk with course instructor Robyn Bailey. Also today, Mike O'Connor will join us for Let's Ask Mike Live on the very timely topic of Plirding, here in Plirding Month on your Talking Bird show. And up next, a favorite bird of ours is today's featured feathered friend, presented by the Bigger and Better BWD magazine, with each large format issue packed with beautiful photographs and illustrations and in-depth articles that range from backyard birds to birding around the world. Experience birds up close with BWD at bwdmagazine.com. Early 20th century ornithologist Edward Forbush called today's featured feathered friend the little brown-capped pensioner of the dooryard and lawn that comes about farmhouse doors to glean crumbs shaken from the tablecloth by thrifty housewives. The bird is the sharp-looking chipping sparrow. We're on the lookout for one right now in our Talking Birds garden, where one or two usually come around every spring to feast on the black oil sunflower seeds that we provide. The chipping sparrow is pretty easy to identify with its bright rust-colored crown and black eyeline, along with its unmarked grayish chest and belly. It displays a gray rump in flight. A group of chipping sparrows is collectively known as a tournament, apparently due to the high-energy competitive flocking behavior in early spring. And the chipping name references the rapid chip trills, sometimes called the picket fence song, or from their various single chip notes. The chipping sparrow breeds over almost the entire North American continent, and this little pensioner of the dooryard may build a nest in your yard if there are some small trees or shrubs there. It's Spizella passerina, today's featured feathered friend, the chipping sparrow. Welcome again to our show number 1088. Well, the Cornell Lab of Ornithology is famous for many great things, including its many Bird Academy online courses through which we can all learn a lot of things about a lot of birds. One such course is the newly released Welcome to the Hidden World of Nests and Eggs. Robyn Bailey, who manages the research, education, and communication initiatives for the lab's Nest Watch participatory science project, is the course instructor, and she joins us now to tell us some things about this remarkable online course. Good morning, Robyn.
Good morning, Ray.
It's wonderful to have you and also to discover and participate here by taking this course, which I've done. It is just wonderful, but maybe it wasn't designed for me. Exactly who is it designed for?
Well, we tried to design this course so that it would have something for everyone, whether you're a beginner or more intermediate bird enthusiast, all the way up to advanced birders. Everyone should get something out of it, something new, and there should still be some surprises there for the advanced nature students, but it's aimed at a beginner level.
Yeah, and I certainly would agree with that. There is something for anybody who takes this. I mean, lots of birders who are experienced know a lot about birds and identifying birds, but nests and eggs, maybe not so much. And there's a lot to learn here in a very delightful way. I asked you, I think, off the air, how long it takes to complete the course. And as you explained, it can take almost as much time as you like. It's self-paced.
That's right. It is a self-paced course, so you can take as much time with the material as you need and whenever you like. But if you were to sit down and go straight through it, it might take you 3.5 to 4 hours if you were to do that straight through. But most people take an hour here and there and take as long as they need, so it's totally self-paced.
Well, give us just a very quick overview of what is covered.
The course is called The Hidden World of Nests and Eggs, and so the idea is we're trying to reveal some of that neat and interesting nesting behavior that we don't always get to see up close. So we cover what is a nest, how do birds make nests. There's also a unit on nests and eggs and incubation. We cover hatching and how baby birds fledge, and then we cover some ways that you can get involved to help more nesting birds around you. So a wide variety.
And you suggest, I think, that there are basically 10 types of nests. For many of them, we can only see the outside. But in the course, we get a look inside through some wonderful illustrations. And there's a section called Exceptional Nests. And you have your pick for the most clever nest design. And without giving away too much, because this is only audio here. Can you tell us a bit about the southern penduline tit and that amazing nest?
Yes, the southern penduline tit was my pick for the most clever nest design because they do something that most birds don't do. In an effort to fool predators, they create a false entrance to the nest, which looks like a very obvious entrance hole, which any predator would stick their face in there and not see anything. But there's actually a secret entrance that the bird uses where it puts its eggs.
Pretty incredible, and there are many, many incredible and clever nesting designs that birds come up with. So that's maybe a surprising thing that folks will learn among many others. But I wonder if you were surprised by anything as you put the course together.
I was, and I learned a lot while digging into some of these concepts, and I'm surprised by how much we still don't know in many ways about nesting birds, but especially around egg coloration. There are so many beautiful egg colors out there, and the reasons behind it are sometimes surprising, sometimes mysterious. So that was surprising, but there's also some really surprising nest materials that we cover as well that you may not have thought of.
Like snake skins, for example.
That's right.
Among others. Well, for folks who like quizzes, the course will not disappoint. There's a Find the Nest quiz, a nest type quiz, an altricial precocial quiz. I didn't quite ace that one, I have to say.
That's hard.
Yeah, lots of fun facts in there. Which bird species use coat hangers in their nest? Which bird turns the tables on humans by pulling out anti-bird spikes and making nesting materials out of them? It's a fascinating thing. Embryos hatching muscle, which I don't think I knew about, how that gets the egg tooth in the right position there. The gaping mouth photos are worth the price of admission. Just incredible among the pictures and videos, as well as your wonderful on-camera presentations. So much to learn, from the art and science of making a nest to all about bird eggs to nesting behaviors and parenting. And as Robyn described, supporting nesting birds where wherever we are. A couple of dozen topics, I think, altogether within the main categories. Well, a fascinating and flexible, easy to navigate course. It is just terrific. And, well, Robyn, how do folks find out more and sign up?
Great question. You can sign up for the course by searching Bird Academy Cornell, and that will get you to our Bird Academy website, where you'll see all of the course offerings, and look for the Hidden World of Nests and Eggs right there on that landing page.
All right. Let me see if I got that right. Bird Academy Cornell.
That's right.
How we search.
Those
Robyn
search
Bailey
terms will get you there.
Okay. Robyn Bailey manages the research, education, and communication initiatives for the lab's Nest Watch project. We want to get her back and talk about that at another time. And she is the instructor for this really marvelous course. Welcome to the Hidden World of Nests and Eggs. Robyn, thanks for telling us about the course. It's just great.
Thank you so much for having me.
Robyn Bailey here on Talking Birds. And up next, it's our Mystery Bird contest in just 1 minute.
The flutter of a tail feather, the flash of a wing bar in mid-flight. You don't always have a lot of time to identify a bird in nature, let alone to appreciate its beauty. But with Vortex Optics, you'll have the power to bring every wild moment closer. When you choose Vortex, you're choosing to have a partner in the field as passionate about nature as you are. Whether you're spotting old friends on the backyard feeder or packing for a once-in-a-lifetime trip to add a few species to your life list, Vortex offers a full range of optics and optics accessories for every birder and every budget. And whether the birds are taking you to another state or another country, you're always covered by the Vortex VIP warranty, an unlimited lifetime promise to keep you and your optic covered. If you'd like to learn more, or if you need help choosing your next optic, give Vortex a call at 1-800-4VORTEX or visit vortexoptics.com.
Our mystery bird sounding off. Our contest is underway. We invite you to give us a call here if you think you know what that bird is or would like to take a guess. Sometimes an incorrect answer will be a winner because we don't get exactly the right answer. We'll do a drawing. Here is the phone number to call, and I'm going to try really hard to remember to repeat the number, but here it is, 781-837-4900. Our mystery bird is a primarily nocturnal raptor of the American West with 3 recognized subspecies. A bit larger than an American crow with plumage that's mostly dark brown with white blotches. Most prominently on the chest and belly, it has brown eyes. Our bird hunts from perches, detecting prey by sight and sound, and swooping down to capture small and medium-sized mammals, especially rodents. In recent decades, our mystery bird's survival in parts of the Pacific Northwest has been threatened by habitat loss and fragmentation, and by the range expansion of a larger and more aggressive related eastern species. That is our mystery bird, and here's that number again, 781-837-4900. And we have a new prize to announce today. Beauty-O Books is back with us, and we have a $20 gift certificate to spend with Beauty-O Books, your independent, family-owned birding bookstore, proudly carrying one of the largest selections in the world, new, used, rare, and collectible bird books. And a special hello to Beauty-O Books' new owner-operator, Lizzie Lusterman. Welcome, Lizzie, as a provider of a Talking Birds contest prize, and a beautiful one it is. Also, a beautiful prize from our friends at Birds and Beans Coffee. It's a big bag of our favorite, shade-grown, bird-friendly, truly delicious Birds and Beans coffee, grown under the natural forest canopy in Central America to preserve wintering habitat for all those birds that we love to see up in North America, spring and summer and fall, and sometimes beyond. And here's that number again, 781-837-4900. Call us as soon as you can, so we'll have time for this contest, 781-837-4900. Meanwhile, it's Mike O'Connor. And let's ask Mike live in just 1 minute.
Squirrels have one mission in life: eat your birdseed. They hang, they swing, they stretch, climb, and plot their next move. For squirrels, your bird feeder is the ultimate prize. But now, they've finally met their match. Introducing the Squirrel Buster Evolution. When a squirrel climbs onto the feeder, its own weight automatically closes access to the seed, stopping the theft instantly while birds continue to feed comfortably. No batteries, no tricks, no complicated setup. Just smart, proven squirrel-proof technology that works day after day, season after season. That's why the Squirrel Buster Evolution was named Best New Birding Product of 2025 by the Wild Bird Feeding Institute. So let the birds enjoy the feast, and let the squirrels keep trying. Look for the Squirrel Buster Evolution at brome.com or at your local bird shop.
Yes, it's Plirding month here on Talking Birds. We're doing a lot with Plirding, including today's Let's Ask Mike segment with our own man, Mike O'Connor, down at the famous Birdwatchers General Store on Cape Cod. He is the man that I believe was once quoted as saying, "Plurd is the word." Let's see if that's really true. Good morning, Mike.
Well, yeah, and who sang "Plurd is the word"? The Trashmen. Isn't that ironic? Right?
The Trashmen, yeah.
Talk about irony there.
We could sing a little bit of that, but it probably wouldn't be a good idea. But
right.
Yeah, maybe we'll play that again sometime soon because that's a great song. So, Mike,
so it's Plirding month. It's the most, it's my most exciting month of the year for me, for sure. it's Plirding month.
But you make a differentiation there between plurting and sort of doing neighborhood cleanups where you're just, out there picking up everything. But this is while you're birding. And you learned what? You learned how you have to be prepared for that.
Yeah, no, you're right. Right. As a neighborhood cleanup, everybody gets a wheelbarrow, a rake, some gloves, some bags, and they get to work. But this is different because when you go birding, at least when I go birding, I've got binoculars, I've got a camera. Some people have a bird book, their iPhone for listening to, Merlin, things like that. And it's not really conducive to picking up litter. And I learned the hard way because years ago when you first started this movement, I thought, I'll do that. And I was out on the beach looking for shorebirds, and I saw some trash. And so, here we go. I'm going to do my job. And I bent over to pick some stuff out of off the beach. And immediately I dragged my binoculars through the sand because they were hanging on my neck. So when I bent over, they went through the sand, so I shook it off, and now my hands are covered in. I picked up the trash, but now my hands are covered in sand, and so I went over to a tidal pool to rinse off my hands, and I bent over again, and my hat fell in the tidal pool.
Wow.
So,
Boy, I wish we had some tiny violin music to play as you're describing this here.
I felt like Kramer, everything on Seinfeld. And then I found that. Now I don't have anything to put the trash in, so I found a plastic bag, and I filled that with the trash, and then a bird went by. I think it was a northern gannet, so I put the trash bag down, and it was just a small one of those grocery bags, and I put the bag down to look at the gannet, and then the wind came and blew the bag down the street, and all stuff came out of it. So I learned my lesson that next time I go, I'm going to be prepared. And the first thing I did was I got a courier bag, so hanging on my, so I could have something to put the trash in. And then that was a little big, so then I got one of those folding nylon bags that we take to the grocery store. You can just slide in your pocket, so it's not as bulky. And I got a glove. I know some people use those grabbers to pick the stuff up.
I like to use those. Yeah, you can pick up almost anything with those trash grabbers with the little kind of pistol grip handle. You can pick up little bits that you wouldn't think it would pick up. Yeah, they're really good.
Yeah, right. Except to pick up the check at the restaurant. I'm not doing that. But anyway, so
I knew that.
Where's the rim shot? So anyway, I kind of went for a glove, like just one glove. I would stick that in my pocket. I'd have the bag in the other pocket, and then I'd be prepared. And then if I saw something, I could take the glove out so my hands didn't get all sandy. But I had that Michael Jackson look going on, but I didn't care. But it was I was more prepared this time, and I got a whole bag of trash, and I filled it up it was a little bit less comical or annoying than my first time out. But another thing people can do, and sometimes I'll do that if I'm just walking, I'm not prepared this time, is I kind of move. If I find some trash, I kind of pile it along the edge of a trail, so on my way back, I can scoop it up on the way back. So, if I'm going for a long hike, I don't have to be walking with a bag of trash the whole time, but I kind of grab it on the way back. And, I heard what Kimberly said. That was the name Kimberly that you had on earlier on the audio postcard. Was that her name that she had?
Oh, that was Kimberly. Yeah.
Yeah, Kimberly. And that was a good point. That it's nesting season, and boy, birds put some ridiculously crummy stuff in their nest. And even in the osprey nest we have in our back parking lot at the store, I see that they've got all this nylon wire, and not wire, but rope, and then sometimes wire, and I worry about the birds getting hooked in that. So that's especially a good time of year to get out there and scoop the stuff out, because it's nesting season. The birds get themselves into all kinds of trouble. So there you go. Happy Plirding month, everybody. Get out and do it. You don't have to do it every single day, but us birds walk in some environmentally sensitive areas, and it's important that we grab that stuff. And
all right, could you give us that quote before you go again?
What is it? Well, I don't know. What was the quote again?
Plurd is the word.
Plurd is the word.
Okay,
yeah.
I get the rim shot
the
for
trash
that.
man. That's the irony of the whole
Trash
show
man.
right there.
We're going to play that on the show coming soon. All right, Mike. Thank you. Mike O'Connor there at the famous Bird Watchers General Store. We'll be back to the Mystery Bird Contest after this special message.
The Seabird Institute's Hog Island Audubon Camp, celebrating its 90th anniversary, hosts 5-night immersive educational programs for adults, teens, and families. Through these sessions, taught by the world's leading naturalists, ornithologists, and artists, Hog Island campers deepen their relationships with the birds and the ecosystems around them. For more information, full camp details, and other program offerings, visit audubon.org/Hog Island. That's audubon.org/Hog Island.
Not a dog barking, but our mystery bird. One more time hearing that bird before we take some calls here and see if we can figure out what it is at 781-837-4900. Yeah, there he is. All right, Meg is somewhere in the great state of Tennessee. Good morning, Meg.
Good morning, Ray.
Good morning. Good morning. What do you think, Meg? You heard all about that bird. What do you say it is?
My guess is a barred owl.
A barred owl is what we call around here a top quality guess. But then this happens. And, yeah.
Okay.
I mean, certainly the barred owl is associated with this bird in not such a great way. We'll try to explain that if we have time here. I think we will. But anyway, thank you, Meg, and do try us again.
Thank you.
All
Bye.
right. Thank you, Meg, with the guess of the barred owl. Maybe we need somebody from California, because this is where this bird is having so much trouble, California, and points north. And Scott is there. Good morning, Scott.
Good morning, Ray.
Good morning. You heard about the barred owl guess, and
I did, but I think it's the northern spotted owl.
The northern spotted owl sounds like could be some applause coming for that. Okay. Yeah.
Booyah. Thanks, Ray.
Thank you, Scott. Well, as you may have heard, the U.S. Fish and Wildlife devised a plan to protect spotted owls from being outcompeted by the barred owl.
The ridiculous plan.
Yes, many people think so. They want to shoot many thousands of barred owls.
I have to say, Ray, that you had someone on a few shows back.
We did, yeah. We're short on...
He was reasonable. Yeah. He made some good points.
Yes, indeed. Let me just quickly say, our show number 1074 on January 25th and 1077 on February 15th had both sides of that issue. Thank you, Scott. Stay on the line. We'll arrange things. And meanwhile, we are out of time for this morning's show. Thank you so much for listening, and see you next week.
The bird show. I like that.
Ray Brown's Talking Birds.
Made possible by the generous support of the Birdwatchers General Store, Orleans, Cape Cod. Birdwatchersgeneralstore.com.
By Vortex Optics with the VIP warranty. Their unlimited lifetime promise to keep you and your optics covered. Learn more at vortexoptics.com.
By Brome, where bird feeding meets innovation. Discover truly squirrel-proof bird feeders, all backed by lifetime care commitment. Brome.com.
And by Hog Island Audubon Camp. For full camp schedule, program details, and to register, visit audubon.org/Hog Island.